Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to DeveloperMaroof. In lesson 4, we will learn about operators in JavaScript. Operators helps us perform calculations, compare values, and make decisions in our code. We'll cover 3 types: arithmetic operator for maths, comparison operator to compare values, and logical operator to combine conditions. Let's start coding. First, I'll create index.html. I'll use emit by typing exclamation mark and pressing enter. Perfect. Now I'll update the title to JavaScript Lesson 4 operators, and I'll add a heading that says JavaScript Lesson 4 operators, and I'll link our JavaScript file at the end of the body tag. Let's add a paragraph as well, and script tag to link our JavaScript src / means same folder script.js. Now let's create script.js file, script.js. Let's start with arithmetic operators. These are for doing maths in JavaScript. I'll create 2 numbers, num1 which will be equals to any number, and num2, and then we will first do addition and then subtraction, multiplication, division, and other operators as well. So let's start. First, let's add a comment, arithmetic operator. Now let's create 2 variables so we can add them. Const num1 is equals to 10, const num2 is equals to 3. Let's open our live server so we can see our console. Let's now log these variables so we can see those live. For writing quick console log, we don't need to write by typing full console. What we can do is quickly we can just write log and then hit enter. That will create console.log for us. So let's now say num1 is equals to num1 and num2 is equal to. Okay, now we can see the logs. Let's start with the addition. Const, let's say num1 plus num2. That is our first operator, which is plus. Let's see its result by logging it. First, we should store its value, whatever will be the result of num1 plus num2. We should store that result in some variable. So to store that result, we should say const sum is equals to num1 plus num2. So now whatever the result of num1 plus num2, which is 10 plus 3, will be 13. Then 13 will be stored in the sum variable. So we should log the sum variable to see its result. Let's say log addition num1 plus num2, and you can see in the console log we have addition num1 plus num2 will be an equal to 13, because 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. So this is our first operator, arithmetic operator. Now let's see our second arithmetic operator, which will be a subtraction. So subtraction. Now we can say num1 minus num2. So minus is the subtraction operator, which is also an arithmetic operator. So now let's store its value, whatever will be the result of num1 minus num2. Let's say const difference is equals to num1 minus num2. Let's log this to see its value. You can see in the console subtraction num1 minus num2 is equal to 7, because when we minus 3 from 10, the result will be 7. Now let's see our third arithmetic operator, which is multiplication. Let's say const, let's name this variable product is equals to num1. Now for the multiplication, we should not use x. In JavaScript, we can use asterisk for the multiplication, which is a star, and num2. Now let's see its result. So the multiplication num1 multiply num2 will be 30, because 10 3 is a 30. Let's see our fourth operator, division. So division gives us quotient. So let's say const is equals to num1. So for the division, we can use / num2. Let's see it in the console. So division num1 num2 is 3.333 something, because when we divide 10 divided by 3, so this will be its result. You can see it's a math. We can write maths in JavaScript. Let's see our fifth operator, which will be modulus. So modulus uses the percentage sign. It will gives us the remainder after division. So let's say remainder is equals to num1, which is a 10, percentage num2, which is 3. So maybe result will be 1 if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Modulus num1 modulus num2 is equal to remainder. So remainder is 1. So that was our fifth arithmetic operator. Now let's move on to our sixth, which is exponentiation. So exponentiation uses 2 asterisks, which we used here for the multiplication. Exponentiation like 10 to the power of 3. What will be its result? Let's see. So let's say const power is equals to num1 2 asterisks num2, and let's log, and the result is 1000, because when we multiply this 10 with the 3 tens, like if its power is 3, then we will multiply this 10 multiply 10 multiply 10. The result will be 1000. So let's move on to our next arithmetic operator, which is increment. So let me show you what increment is like. So let's say let counter is equals to 5, let's say, and first we will console it so we can see our before increment value, which is 3 now, because counter is equals 3. If we increment this by using counter plus operator, so what these plus will do is it will increase 1 with whatever the value of counter is. It will be like counter is equals to counter plus 1. This is what this means. The value of counter, which is 5 and plus 1, which will be 6. Now let's log it to see its value. After a counter, you can see it is getting 6. So that was increment. Now let me show you decrement. It works the same like increment, but we will use minus sign to decrease with minus 1. Let's see. Let count is equals to 8, and let's log this. Before decrement is 8. Let's say count minus. It will be like count is equal to count minus. In plus we were adding 1 to the counter. In minus we are decreasing 1 from the count. So let's log this to see the changes. So you can see it's getting 7 because 8 minus 1 will be 7. So that was it for the arithmetic operator. Now let's move on to our comparison operator. Let's comment them out. Now let's see our comparison operators. So comparison operators are like they compare two values and return true or false. So what I will do is I will create 3 variables. Let's say a is equals to 5. Let's say b is equals to 10 and c is equals to 5. Let's log these first, a, b, and c. So for these comparison operator, they will always return a boolean value. Like they will return true, they will return false. So let's do it practically in the console. Let's say console.log and let's see first equal. Let's say equal to a equal to b, and its result, let's see a equals to b. So this double equal is the comparison operator. Checks if they have the same value or not. This will return true or false. They are checking like if a is equals to b or not, its value is equals to each other or not. So they are not clearly. The a value is 5 and the b value is 10. So they are not equal. It should return false. So let's see in the console we have false, and that is correct. Let's see our second comparison operator, which is, or let's see the same operator with comparing the a and c, because they are equal to each other, so they should return true. Let's see it. A equal to c. Let's see, it's returning true because a is equals to c. They both have the same value. So let's now see not equal to sign. Let me add a comment for you. Equal to and not equal to. So let's add a log. Let's say not equal to for a and b. So for the not equal to sign, we should add an exclamation. This exclamation here means not, and we should put equals to b. So it will be like it is asking that a is not equal to b. Here you can see its console, it says true because a is not equal to b. That's why it's returning true. We can see a 5 and b is 10, and it is already saying that a is not equal to b because that is correct, so it is returning true. If we say a is not equal to c, then it will return false because a is equals to c. So that statement is incorrect. That's why it's returning false. So let's now see our third comparison operator, which is strict equal to. So strict equal to uses 3 equal signs like this. It checks both values and the type of that variable. So if we make a equals to, let's say a equals to c, and that result will be true because a value is 5 and c value is 5, and a variable type is a number and c value type is also a number. So it will return true. If we say a equal to c after wrapping this 5 inside a string, because now it's a string type and it is a number type, so it will return false because their value are the same, but their types, the data type is not the same. That's why it will return false. So the thing is, it checks both value and type because one is a number, one is a string. That's why it will return false. If we say a double equal to c, it will return true now because double equal will not check the data type. It will only check the value. If it is 5 and here is also 5, it will return true. So that is the difference between double equal and triple equal to operator. So let's log this to see clearly. Let's log a equal to c. So we are getting false because c is a string and a is a number. So if we remove this string and make it a number, then we will return true. So that's it for strict equal to sign. Now let's move on to our strict not equal to sign. So this strict not equal to sign works the same way, but it will strictly check that those values are strictly not equal to each other or they are equal to each other. Let's see in the console, a is not equal to c, and it is returning false because a is 5, its value is 5, and c value is also 5. Their data types is also same, so that's why it is returning false because they are equal, and it is checking that they are not equal to each other. If we wrap it in the quotes, it will become a string and it will return true because now they are not equal to each other. So that's it for strict not equal to sign or operator. Let's move on to our greater than operator. So the greater than uses the greater than sign, and let's see log greater than a is greater than b. So its result is false because a is not greater than b. They are equal to each other. Let's remove these quotes. If we increase this to 6, it will return true because now a is greater than c. Okay, now next is greater than operator. So if you are a math student, you already know that what greater than sign do. It will check like the value is greater than this value or not. Let's see in the console.log greater than a is greater than b, and let's say a greater than sign and then b. It will return false because a is 5 and b is 10, so a is not greater than b. If we see in the console, it is false because b is greater than a, not a is greater than b. If we increase a value, let's say 51, then it will return true because now a is greater than b. So let's move on to our less than sign, less than operator. Let's log this, and this is the sign of less than, which is an angle bracket. So it is returning false because a is not less than b. A is greater than b. We are checking if a is less than b or not. That's why it's returning false. If we make a 5 b 10, then it will return true because now a is less than b. You can see it's returning true. So the next operator is greater than and equals to. Let's log this. This is the way to write greater than and equals to, because it will check that if a is greater than b or equals to b, then it will return true. If it is not, then it will return false. Right now it is returning false because a is 5 and b is 10. They are not equal to each other, and a is not greater than b. If we make it 10, we will return true. If we make it 11, it will return true. If we make it 9, it will return false. So I think you get it. Let's move on to less than equals to. Same way, if it is less than b or equal to b, it will be true. Right now it is returning true because a is less than b. A is 9 and b is 10. And if we make it 10, it will again return true. If we will make it 11, it will return false because now a is greater than b, not less than b. So let's now move on to our logical operator. So let's comment these out, and let's say logical operators. So logical operator helps us combine multiple conditions. So here I'll create 3 Boolean variables. Let's say const is logged in is equals to true, const has permission equals to false, and const is admin equals true. So let's see our first logical operator, which is AND operator. So AND operator is 2 ampersand like this. This is an AND operator. It returns true only if both conditions are true. So if we say console.log and say like is logged in and is admin, so it should return true because is logged in is equals to true and is admin is also equals to true. So they are both equals to each other. They are both true. That's why it will return true. If we say is logged in and has permission, it will return false because has permission is false. That's why it is returning false. Both variables should be true. Then we will return, or we will see true here. If anyone have the value of false, they will return false. Let's check our second logical operator, which is OR operator. We can write OR operator like this, 2 pipes. It returns true if at least one condition is true. If we say is logged in or OR operator and then has permission, it will return true because its condition is like if any comparison variables have at least one variable is equals to true, then our result will only be true. So let's see practically. Console.log, we say is logged in or has permission, it will return true. You can see because is logged in is true, then it will quickly return its result because we get one true and that is enough. If both are false, if we make it is logged in false, then it will return false because both are the false value. You can see it is returning false. So that was it for our operator. Now let's move on to our not operator. It is not operator. I've already told you that this is a sign of not. So what it will do is it will flip the value. Like if is logged in is true, if we keep it like is logged in, then it will return false because it flips its current value. If here is a true, it will flip it to false. If there is false, it will flip it to true. Let's see it. Log is logged in, and let's put that not operator at the starting. You can see it is returning false now because it is a true value and this operator is flipping its value. If we remove it, it will return its original value, which is true. So that was it for not operator. So the last is combined logical operator. We can combine operators like is logged in and operator. Let me show you. We can say log, and then we can say is logged in and open parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Inside this we can say is admin or has permission. It is returning true because is logged in is true, and the and operator will only return true when both or all values or variables are returning true value. So in this statement, JavaScript is getting the result of these two, like it's checking if is admin or has permission. Any of it returns true, then it will call its value true. Like is admin is true here, so it will quickly return true here, like this. Any of value is true, it will be true here. Is logged in is already true, so both values are true. That's why we have the true in the console. I hope you get it. If it will be like this, like if we say is admin is false, now both are false, so here it will be false, and now both values are not true. An AND operator requires both values to be true to returning true Boolean value. So now it will return false because one value is false, you can see. So I hope you understood these operators. So you just learned about arithmetic operator for math, comparison operator to compare values, and logical operator to compare combine conditions. These operators are the building blocks for making decisions in your code. In lesson 5, we will use these operators with if statements, else if, and else to control the flow of our program. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe to DeveloperMaroof, and share it with someone learning JavaScript. Jazakallah khair for watching. Allah Hafiz.